Police are seeing a scary new trend of criminals turning handguns into automatic weapons. Photojournalist Adam Jukala and reporter Sonia Goins explored how it's impacting our area in this special report.
It's a device about the size of a nickel.
Hold that trigger down and you're going to fire at a rate of about 20 rounds a second.
That turns handguns and rifles into fully automatic weapons. Local law enforcement officials call the trend disturbing and dangerous.
We now have automatic firing guns that are very prevalent on our streets.
Some residents are alarmed, worried they could become an unintended target.
I really don't understand why is it getting to be so dangerous now.
I don't want to be here. It's too much.
Local police are investigating several recent shootings where a significant number of shell casings were found at the scene. Officials believe the shooters might have used a device that turns ordinary handguns into fully automatic weapons. Here's reporter Sonia Goins.
Brooklyn Park is considered a bedroom community. Nice neighborhoods with plenty of parks and bike trails.
You could be driving through a neighborhood and it can be completely calm 1 minute.
Inspector Elliott Foss says when it gets dark, the peace and tranquility sometimes fade away.
At night is where we have most of our shots fired at, and it just turns into a different city.
Foss says the second ring suburb is seeing a significant amount of illegal guns on the streets.
We've recovered 69 handguns so far just this year in Brooklyn Park, 12 long guns, rifles, and shotguns.
The violence is putting some residents on edge.
That's crazy when you can't take your kids to the park to have fun because you're scared a bullet's going to shoot past you and might get one of your kids.
And police are also on high alert. They say criminals are taking steps to make guns even deadlier. Brooklyn Park police say some shooters are using conversion devices on handguns.
These guns can do a lot of damage really quickly.
They're called auto-sears, Glock switches, or just plain switches.
An auto-sear is a device that drops in or attaches to a rifle or pistol.
ATF Special Agent in Charge, William McCrary, says the device converts a pistol or rifle into a fully functioning machine gun, allowing it to fire multiple rounds with one trigger pull.
So it can take a firearm, which normally would be bang, 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 and turn it into and empty a magazine.
An ATF agent demonstrates just how quickly bullets can be released when using an auto-sear.
So they can press and pull the trigger, hold that trigger down, and you're going to fire at a rate of about 20 rounds a second.
Corey Shelton is an ATF group supervisor whose area includes the Northwest Metro.
The trend is definitely increasing. It's becoming more common, and even in the last year, I think the curve is in the exponential. It's very, very common.
Experts say these types of guns are hard to control, making them dangerous for both intended targets and innocent bystanders.
A lot of times when we see people firing these guns, they're firing them indiscriminately.
Handguns or rifles modified with a switch are easy to get on the black market, costing around $100 to $200. Police say some people are also using 3D printers to make the devices.
A large percentage of what we're seeing are coming from overseas, Eastern Europe and China, but you can 3D print it.
Auto-sears are legal to own. You just need a federal firearms license, and you have to register it with the ATF. However, local law enforcement officials say many of these devices are ending up in the hands of people who shouldn't have them.
It's weekly we're recovering these, and the local police departments are recovering them.
We're seeing more of them.
This year, local police departments have discovered more of the devices than ever before. Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park, Osseo, Robbinsdale, and Crystal have all recovered guns with auto-sears.
We're starting to see them. I know of one or two last year, and this year, 2022, year to date, we've already got 3 of them.
Commander Garrett Fleslin says police acknowledge a firearm with an automatic conversion device could have possibly been involved in a shooting at the Sounder House Apartments in July, where more than 100 spent casings were found in the parking lot.
We haven't recovered all the firearms that were associated with that incident yet.
Meanwhile, Osseo police recovered 8 firearms during a disturbance recently at a park. 3 of the weapons had auto-sears attached.
It was really pretty scary. I couldn't do anything but watch.
And in Brooklyn Park, at least 3 firearms have been recovered with auto-sears so far this year. But officials think that number could be actually higher because the devices are hard to document.
When one person has one, the next person feels like they need to have the same thing to compete. And when you're talking street gangs, there's an arms race going on our streets.
In July, Brooklyn Park police were called to Walmart for a shoplifter. The person had a warrant for his arrest. Police then found a fully automatic Glock in his waistband.
And firing a gun wasn't bad enough in a Walmart. Think of that gun being capable of firing 17 rounds in a matter of 3 to 5 seconds.
There are several things being done to stop people from using conversion devices. The ATF is bringing in additional agents and teaming up with local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies to locate shooters and get the devices off the street.
They're out almost every night looking for the folks that we've identified as shooters. So we're actually quite happy when we catch them and they have a gun and that it has a switch on it, because that helps us build our case.
Even with the extra efforts, law enforcement agencies agree. Peaceful nighttime streets won't happen overnight.
It's going to be a slow process. It took us a while to get here. It's going to take us a while to get out, but I have full faith that we are on the way out.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
The punishment for having an auto sear starts at 10 years in prison, and it can go up. If you know of anyone in possession of an auto sear, or if you know of anyone selling the device, you're asked to call police. Senator Amy Klobuchar has introduced legislation aimed at stopping the use of gun conversion devices. You can find more about that legislation on our website, ccxmedia.org.